Hi, Brendan from musiqhub Hawke's Bay here. We're just going to quickly go over the chords for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and maybe a couple of ways you could try and strum this one. Okay, so the first chord we need to know is G. We're going to take our first finger, put it in the second fret space of the fifth string, so remember to count up from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into that second space there, okay? We're going to take our second finger now, put it in the third fret space of the sixth string, and our third finger is going to go all the way down the bottom there, third fret space of the first string. Now, if you're a little bit like me, you may need to swing your arm out a little bit, just to help get those fingers in there. You can have them kind of straight, but I find that's a little bit clumsy for me, so what I tend to do is just swing my hand out a little bit, so I get that. Cool. The next chord in the song is a C chord. So for what we do for that one is we take our first finger and we put it in the first fret space of the second string. We take our second finger and the second space of the fourth string, and our third finger is going to go in the third space of the fifth string. And remembering that a C chord, we only need to strum 5 strings. So we start from the fifth string up here and strum down. Okay. The other chord that we need for this one is a D7. Okay, so again, first finger, first fret of the second string. We're going to have our second finger, second fret of the third string, and our third finger, second fret of the first string. And remembering that D chords, typically, most of the time, you're going to play 4 strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, start from the fourth string, and strum down, okay? Probably the trickiest part of this one is there's lots of what we call half bar chord changes. Well, pretty much we're just going to do 2 beats of each chord, 1, 2, then change for the 3, 4. That can be a little bit tricky to get your head around first. What I'll do is I'll just play through. I'll go through all the chords, and I'm just going to give it a real simple strum to start with. I'm just going to be strumming 1, 2, 3, 4, just keeping everything nice and easy so you can see the chord changes. Okay. So from the top it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as you probably saw from there, there's a lot of changing between G and D7, okay? And also the other one that people will find quite hard for beginners is going from G to C. Now that can take a little while to master that one. It does take, you've got to flip your hands right around, so you can see how I'm sort of, you can see my forearm sort of moving around there a bit, so I can get those chord changes in. That one will take a little bit of time, so yeah, do work on that G to C. It pops up in lots of other songs, not just Twinkle Twinkle. There'll be thousands of songs that have G's and C's in them where you're changing a lot. Okay, I was just going to show you an easy way because there is a lot of G's and D7 changes here. There are a couple of easier ways of changing between those two. If we start with the G chord, as described before, we have that, and what we can actually do is we can just lift those 2 fingers up, our first and second fingers, and keeping our third finger in contact with the string, we just slide it back 1 fret space, and keeping this pretty much the same shape here with these 2 fingers. We're going to put them on the first fret of the second string and our second fret on the third string. So it's kind of got that same shape, but we've slid it back a little bit and moved them down, so we can keep this sort of movement going. And that's probably the quickest, easiest way to get from G to D7. Otherwise, what you start doing is you start taking all your fingers off, resetting them, and this can take a little bit of time, and especially we've got to change quite quickly. We want to find easier ways of doing that, and probably the easiest way is to try this little sliding technique. If I just play the 2 chords and just take a little note of how I'm sliding these around, my third finger is going to stay in contact with that string the whole time. All I'm doing is I'm sliding between the third fret for my G, and I'm going back to the second fret for my D7. And you'll notice that these two fingers here will keep pretty much the same shape, they're just coming down a bunch of strings there, okay? So just watch this a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that kind of just sliding backwards and forwards there, okay? Okay. Do work on that one a little bit. If you're having a lot of trouble doing a D7 chord, which doesn't pop up in a lot of modern songs, you could just use a regular D. Yeah, if you're used to doing the normal D, it'll work okay for this song. So if you've printed out the sheet here, or I've given it to you, you could just use a normal D. D7's, yeah, it's pretty cool, like that. And with normal D, yeah, not a lot of difference there. But yeah, whichever one you find the easiest will be the best one for you. And as far as going from G to C, that's just going to take a little bit of work, that one. Worth the effort though, because like I said, a lot of songs have that sort of change. What's one? Like Sweet Home Alabama, take that. We're going to do D, C and G. So you have that's just one example. Loads of them pop up as well, okay? So do have a go at those chords. Really good for your chord changing practice. And just remember, keep it real simple to start with. You can come up with a million different strums for the song if you want. But just to start with, just keep everything real simple until you get the chord changes down, you've got good timing. And then you can start getting real fancy with the strums if you want to, okay? Alright, good luck on that one. And get creative. And yeah, good luck. Thank you very much.